We've been talking a lot about NVIDIA, but let's get a bit more about Walmart. Walmart sales topping expectations, the company raising its forecast again and moving to the Nasdaq because it says it's such a tech-forward company now. Let's get more from Garnet Anderson, Head of Portfolio Manager at Tacita Capital. Great to see you.
Great to be here.
It's interesting about Walmart, isn't it? Moving to the Nasdaq.
Well, it is a little bit. I mean, it's the bellwether for U.S. consumer. Over 80% of its sales come from there. But it is going quite hard at the whole AI theme, if you will, from consumer-facing to employee-facing to supplier-facing to their own tech stack. So it's an interesting move, to your point, to going over to the Nasdaq. At the end of the day, I don't think it's a massive, yes, exchanges battle for listings. There's fees involved, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
For the end investor, I don't think it makes much of a difference, to be honest with you. It's already a behemoth. It's already in the benchmarks. So it's not like you're having something that's going to all of a sudden be added to a benchmark that's going to boost a bunch of index buying.
The NYSE must be annoyed, though, because they don't want to be seen as old-fashioned.
Well, that, or you see the battle that London's going through and trying to keep its own listings. And maybe we can look domestically and kind of go, we're going to have make sure that we keep as many listings as we have.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not a country, greatest country in the world, but we don't have the deepest stock market. And yes, we've got a lot of listings, but a lot are, on the venture exchange. When you take a look at our large caps, we certainly have some world beaters, but it's not like the States where you've just, you look right, left, and center, and they're just all over the place. So let's keep our listings here as well.
I'm not sure if you saw that story from the Globe's Niall McGee that the federal government is trying to twist Anglo-Americans' arm to put their primary stock listing in Toronto.
If you want our minds, perhaps that's part of the quid pro quo.
Yeah.
And I don't blame it. And because you've had others that have, talked about moving their head office down to the States. And you just hate to see that slide further.
Yeah, but of course, that's what the Americans want. That's Trump's game here.
Oh, absolutely. It's about bringing back manufacturing, bringing back factories, bringing back services, tariff revenue. The whole kit and caboodle absolutely is about bringing that business back to States because it's saying we're the greatest consumer economy in the world, and we want more of that being local. And that's a multi-year rollout. But you are seeing where he is chalking up some wins.
Oh, yeah.
May not want to admit it, but some of that game plan is working out.
I mean, there are critics who say we've always been a branch plant economy. I mean, maybe it's inevitable with a gigantic neighbor.
Well, I think, obviously we're much more attuned. We were talking about this yesterday in the office. Nothing galvanizes a community or a country like having an enemy. And I'm putting rabbits around the enemy because they're not our enemy, they're an ally. But you need something to focus, a challenge to the thing. So yes, let's go and strike these deals with other countries. Let's get our employees, let's get our companies being more competitive, driving towards higher productivity, more investments made, not relying so on cheap labor, so on and so forth. Let's move up the food chain. Let's just not ship the oil, let's start to refine more of it. Let's go dig out the rare earths. This is a big technical challenge.
Yeah.
But let's try
to
process them. Well, let's recognize. They're going to list out all these projects for the nation to march forward and improve our economy and make us more resilient. They're not all going to be successes. That's life. That's business. Fail fast. Get in there. Spend the money, and let's go. And let's hope we get 3/4 success rate.
Do we need a more risk-taking business culture in Canada? I mean, Canadian companies reluctant to invest, it seems.
It's not part cultural. It's not a light switch you can just throw and wake up tomorrow and I'm going to be entrepreneurial. I'm going to be risk-taking.
Right.
But slowly but surely, coming all the way up from our education system to how we make it easier to lend to and start young companies, how we support them, how the professionals, the accountants and lawyers support that grassroots should bode well for us for 5 or 10 years. You and I have chatted before. We're probably in for some rough times. 2026, USMC renegotiation. We're going to be put to the wall a couple times. But 10 years from now, are we better for the challenges we're enduring today and expect to endure more over the next couple of years? I'm optimistic. I think that in 10 years, Canada will just be that much more of a world leader.
Yeah, necessity being the mother of invention, we might just have to.
Right, and we have a tailwind. we're blessed with natural resources, highly educated citizenship. Let's make hay.
Talk to us, this is indirectly, well, fairly directly connected to NVIDIA. Celestica is a stock you continue to own.
Well, we do. We've owned it for a while. We're kind of quip. I mean, it's still a buy. It's got great momentum characteristics, and we're quantamental in nature. So we take a look at the numbers first, and then we kind of figure out if any of the story, dissuades you from taking that position. It is up so strong. It's up 230% this year. I mean, it's the proverbial Peter Lynch 10-bagger for the last little bit. So we have been having just risk management. You have to take a little bit off the top here and there. Having said that, we think it still remains well positioned in Canada. It's got a diversified business line. It is not a high margin business like NVIDIA is, but it certainly has grown its profitability. It's grown its profits. Its margins continue to improve. They're not stratospheric. And its valuation multiples have also improved. So it is a good company. It got tattered in the tariffs because they're global, and particularly over in Southeast Asia. They've got production plants over there, and they went, oh my goodness, what's going to happen on tariffs there? They've come back from that, but it is a stock that's a little bit prone to sell-offs in the 20% range. Call that once a year. As most recent before this morning, I mean, it's rallied a little bit this morning. I think it's 3 or 4% up this morning. It was off 11%, so it wasn't quite down at a juicy buy rate, but it's certainly something that Canadian investors might not be getting. If they own the TS660, it's not a component of there. It's like 1.8% of the composite, so it's not like it's NVIDIA that's 8% to the S&P 500, where you already have it.
Yeah.
If you own SPY or whatever your S&P 500 index is. So it's not a bad little complement to the portfolio, but new buyers, I think, would want to be patient.
With Celestica,
Yes.
it's not screaming out at you now for new money.
No,
anyway.
no. When risk management trim, it's not a wholesale sale either. It's a good, solid company. But as an entry point, we're probably not there yet.
Just circling back to sovereignty, I'd love to get your... Do you think Carney will dare to buy a fighter jet other than the F-35? I mean, the Americans will be furious.
They oh goodness gracious, that's a fantastic and loaded question. I can say, it's not really to do with markets, really more to do as a view, right? The part I don't have is if you divide it and say I'm going to take half the Saabs and I'm going to take half the F-35s, what is incremental maintenance and management and training costs per year? I don't know if that becomes prohibitive.
Yeah.
If it's not prohibitive, it would seem to me that it's a solid strategy. So you've aligned with two ways. I mean, the F-35, by all accounts, it is the leader. But if you, I'll go another way. It struck me as strange that President Trump came out with the 51st state talk before every country got to go militarize more. You got to spend more. Now that's been a beaten drum, but he meant it this time, and we're reacting this time. I don't understand why it was like, well, sell you all the F-35s you want, and then start the banter about, well, maybe you become, the 51st state. It was kind of just bizarre backward. Having said all that, I think there is a chance that they will have to diversify out, and if it's not in planes, it will be in other sources, via drones or whatever. The other thing, too, is we've got to, I mean, the Avro was back in the 50s. That's a long time ago. That knowledge base is gone.
Yeah.
In Canada, we've got Bombardier. That certainly has some of that knowledge, and other, associated companies like that. But if we can bring back jobs, bring back the education around there so we become more self-sufficient. It's like part of the reason why I think Trump wants to bring back more manufacturing in the States. You come out of World War II, and everybody was able to go out and build the tool and dies, and that helps support their military complex. Well, those people have now retired. They're selling off their companies. They're winning away. So they looked at their own trade system and trade school system and went, we got to bring up the next generation. People are going to be able to build the things. You can design them, but you have to be able to build them. And we have to be able to do that in Canada.
And it can take a generation or more to do that. Yeah.
You want a tree, plant it today.
Garnet, thanks very much. We covered a lot of ground there. We solved the world's problems.
Oh, we did. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Garnet Anderson, Head of Portfolio Manager at Tacita Capital.